Have to turn around, finesse, green time. It's a goal every time.
Let's have a look at what is happening over here with Anders Vejrgang. It's taken 2 minutes. You said the quickest goal was scored by LJR. Well, Anders only lost out by a few seconds there, Red, like 1-0 up early doors versus Abofawzi.
Well, it's really interesting because in week 1, the set of fixtures, we talked about when Oberon was playing, the power shot plus, what it was doing and how effective it was. The game's completely switched up. It's now finesse plus playstyle that's the one that's so important. Every single goal that Anders is scoring just seems to be a finesse, and it's been so effective today.
If you've got any questions in the chat for Redlac or Ebrew, let us know, whether it could be Team of the Year voting, it could be tips and tricks on the game. Let us know, we will...
The thing is, like, I noticed that Manu switched his tactics. I think he started in the first round with the 4-4-1-1, got first in group. Now he switched the tactics.
At least so.
Red, like, maybe one of you can explain how important are the tactics like in this game?
Well, they're so important. They change the way you build up. And if you look at Anders, he's gone from a sort of traditional 4-4-2 to a 4-2-1-3 where he can play so fluid on the counter-attack. He can play quickly to the wingers. And as you can see, he's through on goal so much from not doing, you know, too many interesting things. It's the play style, the counter-attack, and it's working for him today.
You saw that as it stands table with LJR top. It'll be twisting and turning now with Anders taking it. Let's just have a quick look at this chance here on Anders with the Travella. You can also notice those symbols next to the first, second and third placings. That would mean the triangle means you're qualifying into the next round of the FC Pro Open. The little championship, well, that's our FC Pro World Championship, and that means you've got a ticket to the final event of the season. Also, have a look at that goal difference. Anders, if it does stay level on points, will be getting the nod, as he is by far clear of LJR, and Nicholas coming up in third, getting his bye right now against the One-Os. It's going to be really, really interesting to see who beats each other. Does anyone take any points off Anders? Abofawzi, again, was he watching R3? Was he watching Gravison with a tip and trick?
What a free kick.
Puts in the top corner.
Yeah, free kicks are almost like penalties, I think, this year. I mean, the corners got patched. Before the corners got patched, they were like penalties. But now I think it's the free kicks, right?
Yeah, the free kicks are really, really good for scoring goals. But Richard, you made a really good point there about where the bye comes in. Anders Vejrgang today has that bye in the last game, so he could be sat there watching, waiting to see his outcome from today's group stage, or he might be sitting pretty knowing he's top of the group.
Here we go, Falcons Mike with a question. Thank you, FG and Gravison, for the lesson. Just scored a free kick in moments. Let's have a look at this chance. Maicon coming down the byline for Manu trying to recycle into a space. I do think he's probably... Just watching how Manu's been playing, it looks like he's missing just one more attacking player. Everything's having to be recycled over and over again to get an opportunity on the finesse, whether it's Bonmati, whether it's Elise. It looks like he's just missing an out-and-out striker or someone to do a skill move and get an opportunity.
I think with that chance right there, you can just see like the confidence has like been drained out of him. Just from that last game against Anders, 6-1, it wasn't even close, so I feel like he's feeling the effects of that.
Do you think Neymar is the striker of choice, Ebrew, for him, or should he have gone for someone different, in your opinion?
I think Neymar is one of the craziest strikers, yes. I think the Winter Wildcard, Neymar, 2 play styles. One of them is Finesse Plus, and we also talked about Finesse Plus, and he also got like 5-star skills, 5 weak foot. This is very dangerous, and I think Neymar also got the incisive pass in the silver playstyle, and this is for strikers like the most dangerous thing. You can also pass to Neymar and then up to your wingers, where you see the
question there coming in from Jordan. Who's your hardest opponent to play, Redlac?
Right now, I've matched this player a few times. He's not in the FC Pro Open, but it is Lex, a man who topped the ladder in the Europe West side going into that qualifier. He beats me in the ladder every time.
Oh, Lewandowski. That's why you have Robert Lewandowski up top. We asked questions about it. Why is he in there? 700k for a striker who no one else has used. You put the ball on a platter, Ebrew, and Lewandowski will finish it.
I think this is the reason why he's playing Lewandowski. Also Ariel and White. So he almost got everything a striker needs, right?
That's a crazy finish.
Well, I stayed quiet when you were talking about Lewandowski because I hadn't seen that item before in this game, and he scored a bullet header there.
Abofawzi, maybe he's just Anders Vejrgang's kryptonite. 2-2.
I think Abofawzi is one of the most underrated players in the tournament. I think maybe one of you might know him. In the past, he also got very successful. So I think he's very under the radar.
He's also, he's coming out of a region where you have got superstars. Dasari before, you're looking now, Abu Maka. He's not the name that's on the tip of the tongue when you think of Saudi Arabia and you think of organisations over there, but he is so good. Question coming in from Marty McFly guy. Ebru, when will you start competing?
Good question. Yeah, when I started to play FC, I was very hyped to compete, but I think my time is over. Like, I would say I'm very good, but like over the average. But yeah, once I played against Anders and I saw like the big difference. So.
Sorry, red light with the side.
You beat me on penalties, I'll have you know.
Chance here coming in from Manu Bachore. That's one back. Neymar with the finish. We'll get back to your question in a second, Poppy, but Manu Bachore getting a big goal back, because if it went the other way and LGR went 3-0 up, could have been a little bit of a tougher hill to climb. Theo Hernandez cutting it into Hazard. First time past to Neymar, and a green time finish from Manu.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I told you about Neymar. Just pass him the ball, turn around, finesse, and cheat.
What we got happening here, Red, like it looks like Anders could have found his way back in front. Elisa is going to be his top goal scorer.
Well, it's that finesse play style plus again. And like I said in the first game, I think there was 4 finesses, maybe 5. It's so effective, and Anders is using it to a T. I think all 3 of his strikers can do it. R9 with the silver play style, with the wingers with the gold. Just cutting in, scoring so many goals with it.
Don't you remember at the World Championships last year in Berlin, Anders was unbelievable with Bukayo Saka coming in off that right-hand side, and he was so impactful with Saka that people started hesitating on, is he going to dribble, is he going to pass, is he going to shoot? And especially in that first game against Manu Bachore, you started to see that little bit of hesitation in his opponents. You saw the table there flash up on the screen. We've got another goal, and it's gone back in the favour of Abofawzi. Nicking the ball off the defender, finessing it in the top corner, and frustration from Anders Vejrgang. 3-3.
Yeah, I know Anders very well. He's very angry, I think, when he conceded a goal like this. It was very unlucky.
Have a look to see what LJR Peixoto can do here down the right-hand side. Elise looking to cut inside. Heung-min Son just getting tackled.
But I think like Olise is also very similar to Saka, you mentioned. Also with the finesse plus, also incisive pass makes him more overpowered on the wing.
See that table as it stands right there. We have to remind you about the one host this evening. Unfortunately, is unwell, wasn't able to compete. Really wanted to. All the best wishes to the one host, and hope he gets better very soon. And if you are just joining us, the new addition on that table from last week, we can clearly tell you the top 3, that triangle, the FC Pro Open qualification. It means you're going into the next round with a chance to fight for the title. The Gold Championship next to the top spot. That means you are getting an auto qualification spot into the FC Pro World Championships. LJR Peixoto looking to top the table and finds himself 3-1 up on the stroke of half-time, Red Light.
Yeah, it's a big lead, and I think the World Championship spot really shows like what's at stake. We've seen Stingray in the first week of action, topping the group, and what it means, you know, topping the group, getting the World Championship spot this early in the season can only pay in good favours for the rest of it.
And we are a little bit delayed in this kick-off. We're at half-time in a featured match, 25 minutes. I suppose that's why you pay $4.5 million for R9. Even if Red times it, Ebru, it still goes in.
Yeah, I think R9 is just special. When you play him as your striker, it's he's also a cheat. Like he's doing some things like from alone. You don't need to hit green time finish maybe. That's the big advantage of R9.
I know a lot of people asking in the chat about the FC Pro Live item upgrades as well. Well, if you picked up Xavi Simons earlier on today. Right now, 625,000 coins on the market. He's up 20%, up 100,000 coins on where we started today. And that is because Anders Vejrgang is very, very close to hitting that 16-point total, guaranteeing, you can see right now, as it stands, he is hitting the 16 points, meaning Xavi Simons will get a +1 overall. He will also, if he qualifies into the knockouts, pick up a +1 overall, a +1 roll, and also you're looking at a weak foot and skill move upgrade if he was to go on and win the tournament. It's not a bad item, Xavi Simons, is it?
No, but another item which has really took my interest in today's action is the fact that there's a 7 million coin budget and Anders has spent over half of that, over 4 million coins on R9 Ronaldo. Now, it's baffling when you think about it, but it's so important, and you see in the way his players are playing. Maybe he's made the right decision.
Can we get a poll in the chat? Can we get a poll on Redlack's opinion there of R9? Would you pick R9 in your team? 7 million coin budget. Would 90 R9 be in your team? Because I think it is a fascinating discussion. Are you willing to spend that many coins on one player? Here he is, screen time finish. Haaland steps up to it and dives into the tackle, but just about gets away with it. Let us know in the chat at home right now. There'll be a poll going up. Vote yes or no. Would R9 make it into your team? As we jump back into the action. 37 minutes on the clock. Abofawzi 3. Anders Vejrgang 4. You can see Karim Benzema also.
I think, yes, R9 is definitely worth it. I mean, you can also buy a very good team around him with low-budget players. We have, in this FC part, we have so many low-budget players that are very good. When you look also at Reijnders also, many players are playing Reijnders because of his passing play styles. And that's why I'm saying, yes, I think R9 is definitely worth it.
Well, you're going to see that yes or no percentage go up and down. Yes in the chat if you would pick him, no if you wouldn't. We'll get the results to you.
Yes, chat, very good decision.
Very shortly indeed. I do find it fascinating as well because of the budgets that we put in. I mean, you'd have been competing Redlack where we had unlocked accounts where anyone was able to be played. We're looking Ronaldinho, Hully, R9, Eusebio, Pele in every single team. There is an art and a bit of a skill to the squad building element of it now. Yeah,
I really like the restrictions element to it because it takes a lot of thought. People waste their budget or waste their highest rated players on certain people that might not be needed. For example, like a fullback, when you can just use that Theo Hernandez, who's so effective.
You see what's coming up in the next round. Anders Vejrgang taking on LJ Peixoto. As it stands, a top of the table clash, first versus second, and Nicholas against Manu Bachorai. World champion against arguably the greatest player to ever do it in Nicholas. That's going to be a real fight because, as we said, only 3 positions mean you qualified into the next round, and there's 4 spots and 4 players who are vying ever so tightly. Only a couple of points separating them. If Abofawzi was to get a result against Anders, he'd be right up there as well. He would start to cement his name in that conversation. Corner whipped into the box. It's a bicycle kick, but Alisson collects. What will Anders be thinking at half-time? Ebru, you know him quite well.
Yeah. Just wanted to say Anders did a bicycle kick. I think the bicycle kicks, also for you, chat, I think they replaced the headers. We can also try them. They're very overpowered. And yeah, Anders is like after his match against Manu, like the last time I saw Anders playing like this was in the World Cup. Won almost every game like with 6-7 goals, and he really had fun on the pitch. We saw that. It was very cool to see him playing like this, unbelievable. And yeah, I think he will just go on like this.
Big chance, Manu Bachorai utilised that space so well. Theo Hernandez, a lot of people say the best player on the game. Redlack getting him back in this game.
I think he's a really interesting item because he's the only left-back that people are using. Look at every single team in today's draft and today's selection.
For every week.
Theo Hernandez, every single time, whether it's only 2 gold cards, whatever the restriction, for these items, Theo Hernandez is in every team.
So a question for you and the chat. Do you think Theo Hernandez is the best player in game? Like, when you think of him, he has something special.
Well, you talk about Theo Hernandez.
Next goal.
He scores again.
I think it's relative though, because
He's not the best, he's the most useful.
Exactly, because at striker there's so many different options, and then at left back there's just the one. It's Theo Hernandez.
Yeah, he's by far the best player in his position on the game, without doubt. Maybe until we get Team of the Year, we might have a few options, but then you have to consider price. When you're talking about the fullbacks, I mean, last year, the Team of the Year Hernandez, the Team of the Year Frimpong, they were so expensive. They were almost just unusable in that situation. So, price relative, what you get out of him on the pitch, whether it's the gold or the inform, which are both being split this evening in the teams, there's no reason to use anyone else.
Yeah, I think like what I love about this FC part is like the evolution. Like you have so many.
On the finesse, great finish. Finds the top corner. You talk about evolution. He doesn't need to evolve his game whatsoever. Get the ball in the box, get it to Heung-min Son, and put it in the top corner. We've been seeing goals like that, Ebru, for a few years when Son gets in that position.
Oh yeah, Son, good point. Son is also a very overpowered player. I mean, you have to be comfortable with him because he's not very agile and stuff. But yeah, when we're talking about the Finesse Plus, and he always has Finesse Plus, and that's why Son is always a good option at the striker position or also on the wing.
Is Son one of the... It sounds a crazy question, this, when you talk about actually the finesses themselves, because there's some players that have got... It feels like they've got a better finesse.
Yeah,
Son's
true.
up there. I feel like even the gold item, he'll whip it top bins.
Some people you feel have a different animation. I know what you're saying. For example, on the Travellas, do you remember Nkunku? Over the years, he's been absolutely pinging them in, and it's not for everyone.
Would you pick R9 in your team? 59% of people saying yes. 41%. That's more than I expected.
And this is R9.
That's why you pick
R9.
him.
That's why you should pick him in your team.
41% saying no. And he puts Abofawzi once again within touching distance.
Like, look at R9, how he wins the ball again. This is the advantage of R9, I think.
They've not been pretty on the eye, a few of Abofawzi's goals, but he's keeping himself in touching distance with Anders Vejrgang, and I think that's so important. When you look at that table, he's far adrift. He's 8 points behind Manu with only 9 to play. But if he can get a result there, he puts himself with a big ask in front of him, but he's still in the conversation. Manu, 11 points. LJR and Nicholas alongside Anders, all within touching distance of top spot. There's Elise. Faked the finesse on that occasion. Lewandowski recycling into Heung-min Son. I really do like LJR's team the more I look at it. There's a few interesting picks in there, but that is superb from LJR. Fakes the power shot and rattles it in the top corner.
That's a question, Richard, but we might not need to do a poll for this one. Would you have Lewandowski in the team, yes or no?
No.
I wouldn't either.
What a finish that is. Reinders into the top corner. LJR, he missed out the first game, Ebru, but he looks in really good form this evening.
Yeah, I think it's very... I didn't expect him to win against Bachar, to be honest. Because like Bachar had a very good first round, got first in group, and yeah, it's very shocking to see that, to be honest.
Got a question there coming in, Ebru. Who is your favourite for the title at the moment when you see this huge competition?
It's hard to say because we have to look at next week, the group of death, who qualifies for the next round. There's Umut, Emre Yilmaz, so many great players.
Abofawzi!
Oh no.
Cannot be stopped against Anders Vejrgang. Over the top through ball. R9 just gets away, gets a yard in front of the defender. Keeps his composure, precision shooting in effect, and just puts it out the reach of the keeper.
Richard, he has to slide there. He would block the shot, out for a corner or a throw-in. But he hasn't. Forza scores again, it's 5-5.
I thought the answer would be pretty simple, Ebro. I thought contractually you had to say someone from RB Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean, to come back to the question, I think one of my favorites is definitely Anders. Also, Umut was very strong in the first round. But I think, yeah, I go with the Leipzig players, definitely. But also, like, Obrun did very well.
You see that table, LJR Peixoto with a little bit of a point difference. Anders in second, and he just absolutely fires it in at the near post. It's a very effective way of scoring if you've not been shooting at that near post.
Well, it's flew past the keeper again, and one thing I'll say, Richard, is Manu Bashir has conceded 6 goals in both the opening 2 games, and he still has Nicholas to play. It's not the best start.
Is he worried?
He will be worried, and he'll be thinking about the worst and the best right now, but he'll be thinking about the worst possible scenarios.
Why is he struggling so much? Why is he struggling to defend?
I just think he's lost the confidence since that first set of fixtures a month ago, and it's genuinely showing in his gameplay, whether it's in attack or defence. He just looks lost.
I mean, apologies if he is watching, but we saw a very similar tale with Nick Sneb last week. He had a pretty good first week. It comes back in the second week. If that first game, if that second game doesn't go your way, it can very quickly snowball. And you're walking away with 1, 2, 0 points from 5 games.
I think he has to change something maybe on his tactics. Because, I mean, like you said, conceding 6 goals in both games, it's, I don't know.
I think what's going to be so interesting for Manu is when, and it's unforeseen because he wouldn't have expected it, when his break is, when does he get 1 OS? Because that's a chance to walk away from the set, walk away, go backstage, compose yourself, and then come back. We'll have a look at those fixtures and see when he does take on the 1 OS, but it's going to be really, really interesting when that quote-unquote breaking play is and he can get 3 points on the board. So in another week, that might not have been a luxury for him. R9 inside the box, finished shot from Anders Vejrgang. Elise will keep it going, but Abofawzi very aggressive with Theo Hernandez and walks away with the ball.
So, Redleg, what do you think? What would you do when you would be in Manu's position right now?
Like Richard said, if the break's coming soon, he might be able to sort of fix it.
Hold the phone, because Abofawzi is cooking right now. He just conceded 5 against Nicholas, and he's put 6 past Anders Vejrgang. You see exactly what he's wanting to do with this formation. He's got 6 players defending, he's got 4 up top. He's going to hit on the counter, he's going to play looking behind to R9, use that pace, stretch the pitch, and in the final third he's shown some real quality. We'll jump back to that game very shortly. This one a little bit longer in it, as LJR Peixoto, 15 points, top of the table. Manu Bashir drops out of the top 3 as it stands right now. He will not be progressing in the FC Pro Open. We've still got a long way to go, Redlag, but it could open up a little bit, this table.
I think the current standings will be a shock to a lot of people coming in. LJR at the top, Manu outside the top 3. It's full of shocks, this group, and that's why we love FC, because there's so much going on and no one knows how it's going to finish.
And like everyone from this group can still become top 3.
Just talk me through that again when we get a breaking play, Red Light, because I tell you what, Manu Bashir is a consolation. 6-3, 5 minutes left to play. Talk me through that goal again from Hudson-Odoi that Abofawzi just scored, because he made it look really simple.
Was it the step over?
Double step over.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just sized up Anders. He's sort of made Anders think, what is he going to do with it? I'm not going to lie, as a pro player, you sort of know that Anders is maybe a bit scared because he's just put 6 past Bashir, and now he's thinking this is a must-win game against Abofawzi, and he just can't seem to get in the lead by a few goals, but he's back again.
He is, he's back again. We join it as the ball's in the back of the net. R9 with it, 6-6 right now. This game is so entertaining. It's an R9 versus R9 matchup. Both players drafting him. The only 2 out of the 6-2 draft him. Anders letting us know his thoughts on the game and his opinions there. And that is that table once again. A little bit of movement. Anders picking up a point as it stands. Abofawzi looks to be out of contention. LJR Peixoto, 7 3 up against Manu Bachore. And I don't know if it's a combination of Manu not defending very well, but LJR is so clinical in the final third.
I think the practice is sort of showing for LJR. His attacking patterns look really good. He's getting to the box more often than not, whereas Bashore, when he gets them chances, he's not looking as good. But to answer your question, Ebru, about sort of what does Bashore need to do? Get a win on the board. Whether he deserves to win or not, he needs 3 points in the next game.
Yeah, I think when you see at his, when you have a look at his face, you see how he's losing his motivation. I mean, when you start this day with first of the group and conceding so many goals in the first 2 games, it's a very big disappointment. So
maybe the biggest reaction of the day right there from Anders Vejrgang.
Such an important goal. Such an important goal. He takes that lead back off LJR.
Look at the goal scored, by the way, in this group already. Nicholas 5-2. Anders put 6 past Manu. Now we've got LJR putting 7 past Manu Bachore. And I'll be honest, if it does come down to goal difference, we've got 4 players and 3 spots. He's just leaked, what, 13 goals in 2 games. It could be a huge swing when you look at that goal difference. LJR Peixoto, final score, 7. Manu Bachore, 3.
Maybe do you know what are the advantages and the disadvantages of the 4-5-1? Because I saw that Manu Bachore switched from 4-4-1-1 to 4-5-1.
4-5-1, it takes longer to build up, to get the players forward. Obviously, there is a 5 in midfield, so getting them wingers and attacking centre mids to actually get up the pitch can take a bit longer, and I think it's showing. Maybe we'll see a revert back to the 4-4-1-1 after so far performances.
Do you think maybe this is one of the reasons why Manu's doing like not so well, like in the first round?
It could be, but then also he might have switched into that for a reason. He might not have been playing as well in that 4-4-1-1, so it's a decision that he has to make. So far, it's not worked out for him.
Well, here we go. Anders Vejrgang, 7-6 up against Abofawzi. Carrasco coming off the bench. Fresh legs. R9 at the near post.
This is so unlucky for Anders, and he's very angry.
It's not the first time. Anders Vejrgang, I mean, his pocket picked.
I've seen this a few times from Anders, to be truthfully honest. I think just get it away.
Yeah.
But he has got time to win this game. It is kind of a must-win after, the scenario here.
I've got to ask, when you are sat on the opposite side of the desk, what, a metre away, and you can see your opponent like that, that must give you a bit of confidence that I've got him.
It does, because you know that mentally he's struggling and you can take advantage of that. But then this is the thing with Anders, when you actually go back into the game, he's still playing really good.
Yeah,
so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and then then you start thinking, well, hang on, do I need to score here?
I think you can also trigger Anders very easily, because that's exactly what he doesn't like to see. Maybe hit a gritty after that, and then...
I mean, he's leaked 7 goals. Obviously, I don't think we've seen all 7 that Abofawzi scored, but at least 4 have been him getting a fortunate rebound or nicking the ball off him and capitalising inside Anders' own 18-yard box.
I think it's clumsy. Is he trying too hard to build up, Richard, do you think? Is he trying too hard to keep the ball and play it nice, or...?
We can see what's coming up there.
Wow.
He's taking on LJR Peixoto in the next game.
Top of the table clash.
It certainly is, and Nicholas, having this round off, will take on Manu Bachore. All that and plenty more to come in your FC Pro Open Week 6. This is Group B action. 3 go through to continue.
We still have some time, and I think we will see like maybe 2 goals in this game.
Player lock into R9, looking for the touch around Jonathan Tah. Reinders nicking the ball in the middle of the pitch. Carrasco inside. Again, stealing the ball off McManaman's toes. Technical dribbling into the byline. He's looking for a player on the edge. It is Reinders. Will he be able to recycle effectively on this occasion, Abofawzi? Into Carrasco. He's looking for options. R9 player locked. Takes the finesse inside the box. It was a little bit too narrow of an angle. Charged down by Anders Vejrgang. And a chance for the Dane to come up the other end. Only seconds remaining. It's got to be perfect for Anders. Technical dribbling, trying to create a bit of space. That's going to be offside, and we've got 4 additional minutes. So we've had 14 goals. It's been an absolute thriller.
Okay, 4 minutes are much. Anything can happen in these minutes.
Hudson-Odoi
R9
into
again.
R9. Haaland with a big tackle. The touch is heavy. He's got to be onside. He's off. He's off. It's so narrow. And he's given the ball back to Abofawzi. It's in his court. It's his game to go and win. To snatch 3 points away from Anders Vejrgang. Player looking down the line. Anders reels back in his chair, frustrated, plays into his own box, but does get away with it, and maybe has one chance, if it's perfect, from Anders Vejrgang. There's a reason he's a world champion. Elise peels away. Can he create? Bruno Fernandes fired into R9. Haaland's tight, and that will do us and put an end to this absolute cracker of a game. Abofawzi 7, Anders